And where are you calling in from today?
So I know I can't believe you're in Costa Rica. I'm so jealous, but I'm in Mississauga.
Yeah,
So yeah, in Ontario. Totally different vibe. It's a little chilly here today, actually.
really?
Yeah, like I was wearing a coat and everything.
Oh no. And I'm like wearing my like little sweater thingy. It's rainy season here, so it's still a little chilly, but it's definitely not going to be Toronto chilly,
Well,
you
wherever
know?
we were this morning looked absolutely gorgeous. So I was like, I want to be there. I don't know where
Yeah,
you're doing
yeah.
yoga or what you're doing, but it looks stunning.
Well, I'm very particular with how my mornings start. I always say you cannot control what happens in your day, but you can control how it starts and you can control how it ends. So I'm really big on rituals and routines that set me up for my day, grounding, balancing, re-energizing, gratitude, meditation, moving my body, all of the things. So
Yeah.
I was at yoga this morning doing what is for me active recovery. I don't use it as a workout. I use it as active recovery and
Oh,
meditated. So it's good. Yeah, that's where we were this morning. All right, let's do it.
good.
Maybe we'll dive in. Those of you guys maybe who don't know us, why don't do you want to share who you are, and then maybe I'll just share a little bit of who I am, and then let's have a chit chat.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so yeah, I'm Jessica Callery, and I'm an intuitive mindset coach. So basically, my whole mission with my practice is to help others come back home to themselves and fulfill their soul's purpose. And it's very important to me, this journey, even I'm on this spiritual journey with myself. So just sharing my experience and the wisdom and the tools that I have come to learn throughout my journey, very important to me with others. So yeah, that's a little bit about me with my coaching practice. I could go on for like about other things. Like I'm a mom of two. My kids are 6 and 3. So the spiritual journey is very important to make sure that I am in alignment with myself so that I'm my best self, best version for not only me, but my children and my family and my friends. And then obviously we're going to touch on energy and frequency, and that's just my jam and so important to me. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for sharing. For those of you guys maybe tuning in on Jessica's side that we have not met, thanks for being here. And for my peeps, thanks for joining. And you guys know who I am, but for you guys tuning in on Jess's side, I am from Oakville originally and lived in Toronto for 12 years. And I've lived in a bunch of other places around the world too, like Australia and Hawaii. And I lived in Vancouver for about 3.5 years. And the ocean is a really big thing for me, and I have been wanting to move back to it for quite some time now. And so last September, I sold a couple properties in Toronto and bought a couple properties here. One I rent out, one I live in here in Costa Rica. So I moved down to this part of the world, which is kind of very fitting for what we're talking about today, because Costa Rica holds such a beautiful elevated frequency, and we'll get into that. And what I do, I am a realtor, and health and wellness has always been a huge part of my life. And I always say the healthier you are, mind, body, and soul, not just like the physical. Oftentimes, I think we think of health as the temple, as this physical body. Over the last handful of years, the topic around mental health has become more mainstream, and we're talking about this more, but the importance of also our mental state and the health of that, and so that's been a journey for me for a long time now. And I love helping people and guiding them into leveling up these areas in their life where they are removing toxic loads from their life. And I kind of look at it like an onion, because there's so many different things and it can be super overwhelming. And it's like, pick one area at a time, focus on that, get it under handle, bring it into habit, into your life, bring it into routine, bring it into ritual, and then move on to something else. So all things talking around toxic free, chemical free, is like my jam, totally. And I've been using frequency medicine. I'll kind of just, we'll start going there. I've been using frequency medicine in different avenues in different ways for over 5 years, going on about 6 years. And my first introduction to frequency healing was through sound. And a lot of that I did was through sound baths and sound work like that. And that's been extraordinary. And from there, I've used different devices. I've gone to practitioners to receive treatments. And then we got this like beautiful call, this opportunity to not only be able to bring it into the home for us individually, which is unbelievable and fantastic. And it's mobile. I don't need to go see somebody. I don't need to pay somebody $150 every time I need to go for treatment. And in some cases more than that, right? Some cases more. But now not only do I get to bring it into my own home for my own personal use, but I have the opportunity to put it in front of people I love, family and friends, but then also putting it out there into the world and helping other people. So that's what I'm really excited about. I also have a nonprofit organization that I didn't mention. That's like my life. A lot of people don't even know me as that. They don't even realize I'm like a realtor and do all of this other stuff. But it fights human trafficking in Canada and abroad. And I say that to say my two pillars, one of my two main value cores in my life are impact and transformation. And whenever I'm able to serve to create positive impact that leads to transformation in someone's life, I'm here for it. Like totally love it. So this is where we are today. It's what's brought me into Healey, into this beautiful frequency device, which we're going to get into. Jess, I would love for you to share, what has been your experience with frequency medicine? How did you get into it? How long have you been using it? Just share with us a little bit about that too.
You're like a breath of fresh air. I loved hearing it. It was so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I saw someone commented, Shae, the jack of all trades and talents.
Thanks.
That's amazing with everything that you're doing. But yeah, I'd love to dive into the Healey device that both of us have our hands on. So basically how it came about, well, okay, so I'll rewind a little bit. So energy has always been so important to me. And I've always been everyone's intuitive actually, but I've always been super hyper aware of this outside realm that it's almost unexplainable. And whenever so basically whenever I'm out of alignment, I need to tap back in, if that makes sense. So yeah. And my work is about energy and like frequency and coming home to yourself, your soul's purpose. And so I've been looking for something like the Healey. It almost leaves me speechless when I'm talking about it because I'm just in shock to have something like this at the tip of my, literally it's.
I know. And I'm like, I should be wearing mine right now.
I know.
And I'm actually running a program too.
Right. So you can literally have it anywhere, run a frequency while you're on the go. You're like, I'm obviously like a busy businesswoman, mom of two and stuff like that. But I already have been doing coaching and whatnot. And a big part of it is spirituality. Like all my work is spirituality. I don't know if anybody, well, most people obviously won't know this, but I used to work for a psychic network. So I've always been super clairaudient and get messaging all the time. So I'm always channeling stuff. But also when you're so in tune like that, you can get out of alignment because you're picking up all the energies. So I didn't younger, like working in restaurants and whatnot, we're picking up all of the things from everybody around us, all the people, things, everything. So just learning so much about myself, I have to make sure because of my practice that I'm constantly hyper aware of what's out of alignment with me. So even though my practice is helping others with their spirituality and coming home to themselves, I have to check in with myself. So I'm constantly realigning my chakras and, doing different types of things to make sure that I am following my soul's purpose. I'm coming home to myself, making sure I'm what I'm supposed to do with my human design. Everyone's so different with their human design. So that is another thing that has
Can
been.
you explain that for a second? Sorry, like,
No.
you know, and I just want to like, as you're going into this, because this is beautiful. Not everybody tuning in right now might even know what chakras are. So maybe can you take one step back and just share like what, like 20 seconds, like what is a chakra, what is the chakra system, and then bring us into the human design because it's fascinating. But I just want to make sure everybody tuning in like understands that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that's very true. So let's take it back a notch. So, or actually, do you want to explain the chakras? Every time I explain it, I go way too in depth where it's like people get more confused. I notice when I'm explaining chakras, when anytime I explain it, they're like, "What?"
I mean, yeah, I can and simplify it. You know, basically your chakra system runs vertical in your body, and it is the energetic points, okay, that have certain traits, certain personalities, kind of like emotions. Like emotions, they can be in and out of balance, right? Like we can be happy, we can be sad, we can be upset, we can cry, and so they adjust. And so chakras are like that. Energy is like that, you know, and no different than you've ever walked into a room and you're like, ooh, like it's really tense in here. You can feel the energy of a space that you walk into sometimes, right? And then something can happen and all of a sudden that's completely gone, you know? And so that's like this shift in energy. The chakra system is no different. And so going up from your crown, you've got your third eye, you have your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. And each of those, and we're not going to go into that today, like I'm not going to go through which each of them are, but just know that it's basically your energy vertical, that when maybe you feel like, I'll use a throat chakra, for example. When your throat chakra is out of alignment, that has a lot to do with speaking your truth and you're being your authentic self. And so sometimes when that is off, maybe you've been holding something back. Maybe there's something you need to release. Have a conversation with somebody. Maybe you're in a fight. Maybe you need to apologize. Maybe it's speaking up on COVID. I don't know what it is, right? So like whatever, but that can throw it out of alignment. So that's in your chakra system. And why don't you bring us into now, like what is a human design? Like what is that?
Oh, you worded that so perfectly. I tend to like go off on this whole, but yeah, the chakras are very important because it's so true. I can't show up as my in my true potential unless I'm in alignment. So I'm constantly using the Healey to before I didn't have this. I obviously would use other tools, but this has just brought it to the next level where it's like I'm constantly checking in here and making sure everything is in alignment. But yeah, and then human design has been such a life changer and so important to me as well. Ever since I discovered my human design, like I had like these aha moments where I'm like, oh, this is why. Like this is why I am. And so human design, everyone has a different human design. Maybe like after I can, if anybody wants, I can send you a link so you can find out yours if you don't know it. But I'm a projector. What's your human design?
I am a manifestor generator.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was going to say manifestor, but that makes sense because the generator part. So I'm a projector. So there's different types. So there's a generator, manifestor generator, projector, reflector. Like there's all different types, and it will really describe like exactly certain traits. So like as a projector, I need lots of rest. And that makes so much sense to me. Like projectors are apparently leaders, but they can do like I can do a lot in a short period of time. So I'm like boom, 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 boom. Once my mom even found this out, I don't even know if she's on this, but she's like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. And then I need downtime, but it will show you really what's part of your soul's purpose. And I even know both my kids human designs, and that's been super helpful as well to be like,
Totally.
yeah, just so like, and I actually like my kids human designs give me energy. It's part of their, and I'm like, that makes so much sense because when I'm away from them, I do feel more tired. And like when I'm with them, they like give me this like life. I obviously because of my kids, but also the human design. So this I can talk about for like 2 hours because it's so complicated. But I find it's really important to find that out. We
It
can
is.
maybe
And if I can just interject, anybody who maybe is listening to it for the first time that's like still like, oh, I don't really understand. This would be like we've done, there's like personality tests, and people will say like, what color are you? Or like, what number are you? There's many different tests
yeah.
that you can take, you know, that tell you your strengths, your weaknesses, the type of personality type, right? Like many people have experienced this if they're applying for a job. A lot of corporations will use the color test. This is really like, and you said the word earlier, this is like the soul test, right? So this actually takes the date you were born, the time you were born, if you know it. If you don't, you can still do it, but the more precise you can be, the more accurate that then your human design turns out. So it takes where you were born, your full name, your birth date, and then your birth time. And based on all of that in the cycles of the universe, will present what your human design is. So it is super fascinating. Highly recommend, you do that. Jess says she can send you a link. I have one for mine that I can send it to you too. But yeah, amazing. So sorry, keep going.
No, don't be sorry. No, that's so true. If you're new to the human design, that's how it works. It's kind of like how the Healey device works too. It's you have well, you don't need the time of when you were born, but the place you were born, your birth date, it gets like all the stuff about you. So that's how
Yeah.
we use. I think that's all. That's all I would cover about human design to start with, and then
Yeah.
once you, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Okay, well, let's jump into the device a bit. Those of you maybe who don't know at all what a frequency device is and you're hearing this word for the first time, love that. So happy that you are here. Those of you who have heard of it, I'm going to just share what is the Healey device and maybe how it's different than what you've used in the past. So, it is, like we've said the word so many times, a frequency device, and it uses a quantum sensor with microcurrents that are analyzing your body. And so different than a lot of other frequency machines, you basically kind of need to already know what problem you're wanting to address in the body. Could be fatigue, adrenals, it could be meridian, an organ related to like in your body. A lot of the machines, you have to already come with that known problem, and then you would choose that frequency to address that problem. The biggest difference with the Healey is it has the ability through a resonance analysis to do a scan in your body in its current state with your energy, its form in today. And when it runs the frequencies, it's actually going to recommend things that you should run, different programs you should run. There's over 10.1 million frequencies in this tiny but powerful device. And there are 5 different additions to the Healey. All of them have the same hardware, meaning they will all be this size, they will all look like this. But the 5 different editions, what's different is the software. So the amount of programs that come with that model. And then they range all the way from, I'm going to talk in US dollars, but all from $650 up to, I think it's 4,500 USD. So depending on what edition you get, that number is going to change. And positively, until tomorrow, all of the devices except for the base model are 50% off, which is pretty freaking cool. And I don't know about you, Jess, but I had been setting intentions and manifesting that they're going to extend this promotion for another month, which I'm really hoping for. But as of this moment, it's only going to be till Friday. So if at all any of this is of interest to you, please get in touch with one of us to chat with you further on maybe which edition is going to be the best for you. But within these editions, you've got different programs, and after it does the analysis, the resonance analysis on you, you can then run that frequency to that specific program. that you are needing in that present time. So that's one of the real things that is super powerful for me that I love. So things that you might not even realize are happening in your body, whether it's emotionally, physically, with an organ, nutrition related, whatever it is, right? So they're pretty powerful and they're mobile. There's two ways of being able to use these. Right now, both Jess and I are using a coil, which I'll just show you quickly what that is. So it's this piece that plugs into here. And what this does is it allows me to be mobile, not needing to use wires, which will have a stronger current than this coil does. So the other way of using it is I put on wristbands and I have cords that basically plug into this, and you can adjust the strength of that microcurrent as the frequencies are emitting. If you have questions, guys, put them in the comments, like as we're going through. Again, I know I said like some of this stuff might be brand new to you, which means you probably have questions. So throw them in the comments, and as they come up, we'll definitely tackle those. And if there's none, that's totally fine too. We will just keep chatting away. So Jess, I would love to turn it to you and just ask, because you've said, you know, you've really enjoyed this, even being able to use it on your kids. I should also say sidebar, you can use this on animals, you can use it on plants, you can use it on an organization.
Wi-Fi.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You need to have Bluetooth connection, and that will transmit whatever program you select. It transmits it through Bluetooth, and then once Bluetooth or that program has switched over or has completed coming over into the device, because you're using it from your phone, you choose it on your app which program you want. Bluetooth sends it over. You can turn off the Bluetooth function, and it'll then run to its completion until your body has received everything that it needs to, and then the program will stop. So yeah, great question. And yeah, you can use it on so many different things. So it's not just on humans. You can use it on, like I was saying, on your pets, on plants, where some people think that's crazy, but plants have a frequency. They are energy. If you talk to your plants, they will live longer, I promise. You know, so many different things that you can use it. But just walk us through, what are some of the programs you guys have been using?
Yeah. Okay. So I've had the Healey for about a month only, and like you said, there's 10.1 million frequencies, and there's so many programs to run. And I'm going to intertwine it into my coaching practice too. Everybody is like raving about it. Anybody who I've done a scan on, like I even use it for my family with like ailments. I suffer from migraines. I honestly, I'll full transparency here. Before I got it, I was skeptical about like all these reviews to help that, but no word of a lie. When I run the frequency scan on it, I like now to this, I had to do it a few times. The first time it wasn't like my migraine was gone, but now literally works. It helps my migraine so much, helps anxiety. There's a mental balance scan that I love to use. So when I first did it, I got the results. I'm like, oh, I really have a few things out of alignment here. But then it's so powerful because then I'm hyper aware of these things out of balance in my body, in my original blueprint. And then I pay attention to it and make it a focus. And then as I've done a frequency scan and a vibration and then coming back to it, you see how wonderfully it's impacted me and how much more I feel better. Like I can actually feel the difference. Yeah. So honestly, I can't even choose my favorite program. I do love the coaching analysis because you can put a specific intention in there, and I love that. And I have done it, and I've put specific intentions, and they've come to light. So I don't know if I don't even know if I don't know. At first, I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I was skeptical again, but the more I've used it, the more I'm like, hey, this is so powerful.
Yeah.
And not believe it. I'm in shock.
I love it.
How long have you
know, I think you said something like really interesting about stating intentions, and you're like, wow, I can't believe like it's come to light, like it's come to pass. So how the Healey works, and there's like 3 different scanning abilities depending on the edition that you have. If you have the high resonance plus or the professional model, which is what we both have, like I mentioned, there's 5 different editions. And if you go base model number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 5. I almost gave myself a 6 finger there. 4 and 5 have these, the resonance scan, the aura scan, which is going to scan your chakra system to see what's in alignment, what's not in alignment, and then the coaching analysis. And if you joined us at the beginning, I was sharing that the resonance scan is running the analysis on your current state to see what is out of alignment, where there's a problem in the body, whether it's physical or energetic. So on this coaching one, you can state an intention, and then it's going to run the frequency in your current state, your current energy, to see where there's blocks that are hindering you from having this intention, this manifestation come to pass, okay? So after it does that analysis, it will actually show you what your present state is and what your desired state is. So it's going to show you what's your ability versus what's the reality versus what your desired state outcome is in order to achieve that thought, in order to achieve that intention, in order to achieve that manifestation, okay? And then you can run the vibrations that the Healey goes in and sets and suggests for you. And what that is going to do is that's going to clear those blocks and help to bring you back into alignment, back into balance, so that you can move forward to achieve that outcome or to achieve that thought. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, totally. Anna, send me a DM. I'd love to connect with you. And as we're going, guys, if you have any questions, like I know sometimes you can understand it. Sometimes it's a little too science. Sometimes it might feel a little too far out there. I always say there's no such thing as stupid questions. There's only stupid answers, which means all of the pressure is on me and Jess. Okay, so if you're thinking it, somebody else is probably thinking it. So please put it in the comments. And if it's something that is above what I even know, I'll find the answer for you, you know? So again, there's no dumb questions. So please feel free to put them in. So that's how the coaching analysis works. And it's really, really powerful. You know, I'll share a little bit how I've been using it. Many of you guys know, if you follow me, that I removed my breast implants after 11 years. I had 2 sets in that time period, but I removed my breast implants in March of this year. And so I've been on a very long healing journey. I just passed my 6 months, September 2nd. So I'm just over that 6-month mark now. And whenever you're removing something heavily toxic like that in the body, it's not just, well, that's gone now and I'm okay. There's this detox process of layers that continues to need to happen in the body. And so that's how I've been using it. For those of you that don't know, a lot of toxins get trapped in fat in the body. So there are people who are like, I just can't, I'm like constantly inflamed. I can't lose weight. I can't lean out. Often So I've been running, there's a specific one for toxins. Are we frozen right now? Tell me we're not frozen.
No, you're good again.
Okay, I thought you were frozen. I just had a call come in and I was like, oh my God. I was like, don't do that. And FaceTiming me and I'm trying to tell them, I just need to let them know. I'm like, can you stop calling me? Because you're disrupting our live right now. As I am doing that. So, Steph,
sorry.
So you use it on family, but would you use it on your partner, your own household? Yeah, I'm going to come to that. So, that's how I've been using it, like thyroid, inflammation, nervous system in the body, toxins. I've been using it specifically. There's an acute for scars. So like an isolated area. I've been using the scar program. I've been using the scar tissue. Okay, so to break down, I actually have like some pain right here from scar damage, like scar tissue buildup. So I've been using it like that. Energy, positive thoughts. I've been running that program. Mental balance wise has been really great. And the sleep function. I love the sleep one. And I use the Aura Ring. I don't know if you know what that is. Have you used the Aura Ring, Jess?
I have not.
Okay, it's phenomenal. But it tracks everything. But I use it primarily to track my sleep. So it'll regulate how much dream sleep, my REM sleep I'm getting versus how much deep sleep I'm getting. And if you are tracking that, and like if you're one of those people that you like sleep for 8 hours but you wake up and you feel exhausted, you're probably not getting into your deep state sleep. And so this shares that. So I've been running sleep programs that before I go to bed, about 20 minutes out, half an hour out, and I can tell you, like, looking at my deep sleep getting like longer and longer on my ring has been so freaking cool. And yeah, those are primarily, and then the chakra ones. I do my chakra every morning before I get into my meditation, before I get into gratitude, because I just think that's really powerful. And then I love using it while I'm actually meditating. So, and I'll tell you another one that I'm using it for. I am aprendiendo español in Costa Rica. Okay, I'm learning Spanish in Costa Rica. And day by day. And so I've been running there's a learning section program, and you can choose them like if you were going into an exam state or you just need acute learning in general. So I've been running that too to like help my brain like store the Spanish, you know? So that's been really great. Jess, I think there's a question for you. Steph is asking, you've used it on family, etc. Should you and your partner each own one, or is it enough for one household? Do you want to take that?
Sure, of course. So I just have the one. Okay, so I'm actually a single mom of two. So another benefit that I've learned to love is that even when my kids are not with me, say on the weekend that's not my weekend, I can run frequencies to them. And that's been so powerful because daughter suffers from nightmares, and I'll run frequencies to help that. And literally, she has not had them. So
awesome.
Yeah, in the sleeping too. I've been running those programs. I haven't done the ring yet, which now I'm really intrigued. I'm going to do that. So thank you for that. But I've been doing that and it's been so helpful. But for me, so it's just me and my two kids. I have one device. I even if it's you, your partner, and your kids, you only need one device. Yeah. Like you could, if you each wanted your own, because you wanted, like I bring mine when I go out and whatnot, and I'll just like put it on me and go for a walk or going to do errands, and I can run a frequency as I go. If you each wanted your own, like totally could do that too, or you can share it. It depends what you want to use it. You want to use it all the time.
And further to Steph's question, within the coach analysis, you actually add in people's profiles. So you'll put in their photo, their full name, where they're born, male, female, how old are they, and it actually stores. So like when you run a certain analysis, it'll actually store it underneath that person's profile. So you're not mixing it up between like yours, your boyfriend's, or your kids, or your dog, or whatever it is. So you can actually organize it that way. These are also really powerful even within group settings. So like earlier today, I was on a call with a coach who and another woman who does sound healing. And I was saying to her, like, she could actually state an intention for the sound healing group before they start and run a vibration based on the frequency analysis that the group is currently shows up to the course, or not course, but to the circle in.
Yeah.
And so this is a tool that is so fantastic, whether, you know, you want to use it as an individual in the household, but then even too, crossing it over into businesses, you know, whether you have group settings of any kind. It doesn't need to just be in the health and wellness. Like, you know, I started off saying, I'm not a coach, you guys know that. And yet I'm still able to provide this beautiful gift, and being able to bring this into my business, like with my clients and family and friends. So yeah, you definitely don't need more than one, but like Jess said, depending on how much you love using it, you might not want to share it as often, you know? And if you are actually stepping into the business with us, which last week you might have seen my video called The Call, which is in my grid, so you could go watch it after, of still wanting to invite in incredible women and men. We don't have a lot of men in this yet, so man, if you were on this, like Pete, I see you on here. John, I saw you on here. You know, if this calls to you and resonates in any way, we'd love to speak with you separately on the business opportunity. But there's ways you can actually earn these for free, which mine just got shipped to my office in Oakville. And so that's kind of cool because then you don't need to share. You get, you know, if you're stepping into the business. And then of course the promos this week too. So technically you could get 2 for 1 if you wanted to go that route as well. So great question though.
Oh, I thought it had to be touching your skin and body to work.
So there are certain ones where yes, it needs to, and also the higher you're going to feel the stronger current, but no different than energy and frequency, it gets emitted out, right? So it kind of think of it like doing like a Reiki session stuff. You can actually be on a Zoom and, you know, you can do a full Reiki session online. So there's different ways that it can work, and then the strength of that as well. When you are wearing the bands, if that's how you're using the Healey, it will change between a white and black circle on your phone to tell you if the current is being admitted properly. So it might be too tight, might be too loose, and you would need to adjust that. So it just depends on the program and how you're actually using the device. And hi, Kavita. Kavita just joined too. She's my gal up in Toronto, Mississauga. Yeah, love her. Yeah, great question. Just bring it home. Anything else you want to like share? What we maybe have missed? If you guys have other questions, Steph, you just keep bringing in good ones. So girl, feel free to put some more in. Oh, Kavita, I want to show you this too. Look, look, look. This is my special ring.
I love it.
I have a...
Next.
It is Ganesh.
Pardon?
It's Ganesh. It's an elephant.
Oh, I love it. Oh, the elephant. I have an elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Its names.
Love oh my God. Look. See, this is what Kavita does. She just brings Ganesh everywhere she goes.
Steph said it makes more sense. Thank you. So glad that's clarifying. Yeah, honestly, Shae, you're the way you articulate everything with the Healey is very magical and beautiful. I learned a lot even from you speaking on the live with you. It was really like well put how you said everything. So that was super helpful. I feel like you like bring it back, and like even new people who don't know anything about it, you were super thorough, and that was great that you could do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well,
I will say this then. Healey, we, just me and another group, a growing group, collective, if you will, of beautiful women have just launched the Healey into Canada 2 weeks ago, officially. So the company is 4 years old. I didn't share this, so I'll just share this quick. The company's 4 years old. It's based out of Germany. We're already in 47 countries. So as young as 4 years is, it has been around, and it's been in so many other countries, like basically all of Europe, a lot of Southeast Asia, and Asia in general is open. The United States market is open. So we just opened up in Canada. I'm manifesting Costa Rica and Mexico next year because obviously I live here, and I also have stuff going on in Mexico, so I'd love to see it there. The founder of Healey is a quantum physicist which means he is so much smarter than I'll ever be. Okay, like super smart man. And he became a monk for 12 years. And coming out of that chapter of his life, wanted to bridge this gap that we often see between science and spirituality. And he wanted to bring this gift to the world. And at that time, this was before the Healey, he invented, he's the founder of a machine called Time Waver. So you might have heard of that before. And in order to use that, to my understanding still, you need to go to a practitioner. And they're wildly across Europe, these machines. And he really wanted to, after working with like scientists and physicians and practitioners and other engineers that were using this technology, he really wanted to make it accessible to you, accessible to me, accessible to Jess. And that was when the Healey was born. He's been an author of 25 different books in 10 different languages. He is one of the founders to the different conscious institutes. Again, some of this is like above even like my comprehension. But one of those, I guess like the quotes, I guess from Nikola Tesla, you know, most of you maybe will have known it, is that if you want to see into the future, if you want to get closer to the future, you have to start thinking in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And I think many people today are starting to understand energy because of Tesla in general, right? Cars, and we're starting to like move in that kind of direction. But that is really the foundation for all of what we're talking about here today is energy, vibration, frequency. And we spent a really long time in Western culture, Western medicine, looking at ways to support our bodies and improve our bodies at the cellular level, which a lot of that is supplementing, okay? Having supplements, taking supplements, and cleaning out our bodies at that cellular level. But when you break that down beyond the cell, beyond the atom, and you keep breaking it down, at the core of it is just energy. And that's what we all are. And this is a tool that allows us to basically tap into the core, to the essence of who you and I are, and being able to restore and bring back into balance our bodies the way that we're designed. So it's pretty cool. I'm like loving it. And, you know, as we shared, there is this incredible opportunity as well to make this part of what you do for business. Like if this stuff makes you dance, then like we want to talk to you, because we want more women to be, and men to be joining us on this beautiful journey of creating impact in individual lives, but also through the individual process, we bring out that ripple effect, you know, and that ripple effect goes out to the nation, can change a country, goes out, keeps changing different communities, and ultimately you end up changing the frequency and the vibration of the planet for the better. So that's like what we both want to do. It's a big reason why we're involved. Not that I want to speak on your behalf, Jess, but that's a lot of the reason why she does the work that she does, you know, as a coach. So it's really, really exciting. And if you're interested in any way, like I said, send us a DM and we would love to connect with you.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, one wants to connect further on this, send one of us a DM. But yeah, you said that beautifully. Honestly, I purchased this, I think I said at the beginning, for myself, and then realized what a profound impact it had on myself and my family.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to bring into my coaching practice, and then realized the business opportunity as well. So it's really beautiful that I can share such a beautiful device that is going to help people. So, and like, it's just, I just want, yeah, like you said, I want to impact the world. I want to change the energy and the frequency into like, I just want everyone to quantum leap together and just, yeah. So I love sharing such a device like this because I know how much it's helped me. So I want it to help other people as well.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, Jess, we are almost at the top of the hour. You know, it's so funny. We were like, we're going to come on and like 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, and almost top of the hour. So thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening and for your questions. And we will be in touch, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side and we'll be vibing. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks, Jess, for your time today, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Shae. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.